I thought this could be a fun idea for a top 10 list. So every quarterback on this list is someone who I wouldn't consider to be an elite quarterback, but I think they could be. And this is the top 10 quarterbacks who aren't elite but could be. So, again, the higher you are on this list, the bigger chance I think you have of being elite. Very few players have a chance to be elite in general, but there's 10 guys who I think have a chance that aren't currently elite. So let's just get into it. Number 10 is Trey Lance, who, listen, the odds of Trey Lance becoming elite are not very slim, right? The odds of him even being a starter year one are probably under 50%, or not year one, but this next year are probably under 50%. And given the fact that he's going into year three, and he's had basically no playing time, the odds are against him. They are. But is there still a chance? Sure. He was drafted 3rd overall. There's a lot to like about his game. His biggest issue really has kind of been staying healthy and just getting on the field more so than poor play from Lance, in my opinions. But the issue is, will he ever get real playing time and get to really establish himself as a great player? We're just going to have to wait and see. So as it stands right now, number 10 on the list. Number 9, Jordan Love, who maybe some Packers fans would have higher on their own personal list. You could if you want to. I've seen very little of Jordan Love. The reality is he was a late first-round pick for a reason, and I kind of agreed with that draft evaluation. There's the elite potential with Love. There really is. There's some of these highlights that he makes that are just spectacular. I have not seen him really do much of anything at the NFL level. Again, yes, that over the middle route to Christian Watson was fun. It was a good play. It wasn't spectacular. He didn't deserve the 80-yard touchdown or whatever it was necessarily. Love didn't, but hey, it helps his stats, stuff like that. He's just a real wild card for me. There were some issues in his college tape as well. It could happen. There's real potential with Love, but we just have to wait and see. So he's at number 9. Number 8 is Kenny Pickett, who I really liked his rookie season. I thought Kenny Pickett did some nice things. The reason why he's still only number 8, though, is I just don't know what his ceiling is necessarily. I think he'll be an effective player in the league for a while, but when I say elite, I really do mean like top 5 consistently. And can he become that level of player? I just don't know, but I think he'll be a good player. I like Kenny Pickett. Number 7, Anthony Richardson. We're getting into some rookies here, and spoiler alert, the next 2 picks are also going to be rookies. Again, real boomer bust factor with Anthony Richardson. In fact, you can maybe talk me into him being ahead of Bryce Young because of that, because all I'm measuring is what are the odds of you being elite. Feels like there's not a ton of high odds that he's going to be like just an okay quarterback, right? That feels like that's probably not going to happen. He's either going to be elite or be a bust. But the reality is, while I'm not necessarily going to say I will bet on him being elite, there absolutely is a chance he could be elite. And, again, maybe I'd bet on it depending on the odds, right? Give me the odds first. If the odds are even, then I'll say no. But again, that's the case of literally everyone. Being elite is very rare to happen, but he could become elite someday, so I'm putting him at 7. Number 6, I just mentioned him, Bryce Young, someone who, again, the way he would be elite is maybe a little different than the way Richardson would be elite. Feels like every time now when we think of how can you be an elite quarterback, we view it like a Patrick Mahomes style elite, but could Young become a Joe Burrow-esque elite quarterback? Absolutely. It's absolutely possible. I did have him as my number 2 quarterback in the draft, not my number 1 quarterback in the draft, so that's why I do have a rookie quarterback ahead of him that we'll get to in just a second. But I really like Young, and I could totally see him being an elite quarterback someday. Number 5, give me C.J. Stroud. C.J. Stroud could be an elite quarterback for sure. Again, he's shown flashes of being elite. I mean, that game in Georgia was, against Georgia, I should say, was a masterpiece. I mean, it was just an incredible performance by C.J. Stroud. How consistently can he do it? And will he get to that point and be that player? It's impossible to say. Evaluating young quarterbacks is so difficult. Making a list like this is very difficult for that reason. But yeah, I think there's a chance he could be elite. So I put him at 5. Number 4, everyone left on this list we've seen have significant playing time, which I think makes it a little bit more interesting. Kyler Murray is someone who some people will take issue with being on this list, not because they dislike Kyler Murray and don't think he can be elite, but because of the fact that I put him in the he is not elite already camp, which to me I think is fair. He certainly wasn't elite last season. I don't think many people would argue with that. He has shown a stretch of being elite. That beginning of the season for the Cardinals, where they started off 8-0, Cliff Kingsbury was going to win Coach of the Year. Kyler Murray was going to win MVP before he got injured, and then everything kind of went off the rails there. That was a great stretch. He has shown some incredible stretches of being a very good player, but not necessarily consistently. That's kind of the thing, is it's just that one stretch really with Kyler. And so because of that, I don't think it's fair to say that he is an elite quarterback right now. But could he be an elite quarterback? Yes, absolutely. We've seen him show that potential before. The fact that we've actually seen him be an elite quarterback at times, maybe putting him at number 4 is too low, but that's where I have him right now. Number 3, Tua. Again, some Dolphins fans will take issue with the fact that I don't have him in the elite category yet, but it's kind of similar to how I feel about Kyler, where it's like, I've seen you, I would say he was elite at a certain point last season, at least close to elite, if not elite. As a whole, though, I have him as kind of a top 10 quarterback, but not quite that top 5 quarterback just yet. So I think he's close. I think he could be elite next year for sure. So again, these top 3 quarterbacks, I think very much have a very real chance to be elite. I don't know if it's fair to put him in the elite category quite yet. Again, I am a little concerned about the injuries and how they might affect his career and where he's at right now, and also just his health as a person. So that stuff is all concerning, but could he be elite? Yeah, he could. Number 2, give me Justin Fields. Again, Bears fans might say, how are you saying Justin Fields isn't elite just yet? The passing statistics are the passing statistics. The passing advanced statistics are the passing advanced statistics. But if I had to bet, I would say that his passing is going to continue to improve as a player. And I think that he is going to fully develop and become a good NFL passer. And if he can do that with the situation around him now vastly improving and just the stress that's going to get taken off the passing game due to his constant threat to run, I think he's going to put it all together this year. I don't know. And I do think it's fair to say he has not shown the flashes of being elite for like game in and game out that Tua or Kyler have. I just feel more confident that he can continue to improve. He is younger than those 2 players. So because of that, I'm going to put him here at 2. Number 1 kind of feels like an obvious one. I guess the only reason you wouldn't put Trevor Lawrence at number 1 is if you don't think if you think he's already elite. But I don't think it'd be fair to consider him elite. Again, I think he's maybe shown flashes. I don't think he's fully had a season where he's been elite just yet, but his first year, it was kind of a mess. Not all his fault, but some of it was. That year, too, he was like a top 10 quarterback. So, logically, it would make sense that he continues to get better as he gets older and eventually, becomes an elite quarterback. And it could be even as soon as next year, he could be that elite quarterback. So yeah, that's just kind of, those are my thoughts. That's my logic behind it. What do you disagree with me on? Let me know in the comments below. Or what do you agree with me on? Just let me know your thoughts. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.